Hello, good day, I am Paul. AwakeningYou.net is my website. I'm here to talk today about overthinking. This is something that I was a victim to for a very long time in my life. And it was a literal hell. It was basically being trapped in my thoughts every day. What does this mean? What does somebody think? What does somebody, whatever, and how am I going to prevent this from happening? And all these things were just eating me alive. You go to work and somebody's mad at you and somebody's having a bad day and whatever, and I had no idea what was going on, but I made some story out of it, and basically I just killed myself every day by this process of overthinking. I'm going to say that this is a learned and a programmed behavior. If your parents had it and that's the way they worked, if you maybe had narcissism in your life, etc. I know I had narcissism in my life, and I was in a constant battle every day to keep that person from blowing up, being angry, having an emotional outburst that basically destroyed me emotionally, so that they could feel better about themselves, they could feel sorry for themselves, the wounded little person, etc. in them, just basically saying, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, and doing it in emotional ways. I was an empath. That person was an empath. They were completely and totally, sadly, lost and kind of broken in their wound. And they were demanding my love, my power, my obedience. And when that comes from a mother, it's pretty hard. So you get trained into overthinking. How am I going to keep mom happy? How am I going to prevent this from happening again? And then it goes into everything. It goes into your dad. It goes into your brothers and sisters. It goes into your boss, etc. And you become like a scared little puppy all the time. How am I going to please everybody? How's everything going to work out? How am I going to have a good day if nobody around me is happy or whatever? And it's a nervous system response. It is a nervous system that never had the opportunity to feel safe because you didn't get it from your primary caregivers, your parents, usually your mom and dad. That could be adopted ones. It could be from an orphanage or whatever, wherever you ended up. But you may not have got that nervous system hit. Or I wouldn't call it a hit because it's not a drug, but it's more of a nervous system vibration that you were supposed to be given from your parents. It was that loving, tender touch of maybe breastfeeding your mother with your mother and having skin on skin touch and feeling them feel really safe. Well, the absolute truth is a lot of our mothers and fathers were not absolutely safe. They were angry. They were just as damaged as we are now. And we're just a reflected facet of what I would call that lineage trauma. So basically, you start overthinking, you start trying to figure out ways using your brain or your mind, which is just a tool, to basically keep you safe and protected. That's all it is. Overthinking. It's like, okay, how am I going to go back to work? What am I going to say to them? What if they say this? What if they say that? You end up in endless brain loops of not self-loving reflection, saying that I did something wrong, or I'm doing something wrong, or I could do something wrong, and how do I prevent that? And you end up locked in fear, indecision, and basically you have this huge cortisol spike in your body, which is the stress hormone, and basically you're running around. You can't have direct conversations, you can't have safe conversations, you can't do this, you can't do that, because that might trigger that other person. And ultimately, we're lost in trying to please. That's overthinking. As far as in my nervous system, it was, how do we get out? How do we, well, first is awareness, because we're victims of ourselves. Overthinking is ourselves trying to please the world, which is impossible. So the first step is observing. When I'm overthinking, my mind's going like this, and I'm just like, my body's tight, my tongue's pressed against the roof of my mouth, so my jaw's tight, and I don't want to be here, and this feels really awful, and blah, 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 blah. Take a breath. Put your hand on your heart. Start to send yourself love. Start to just feel that. Even just the act of putting your hand on your heart is going to change things. I'm doing it for reference. In my preference, it's the right hand. That right now I'm using my left hand. Put my right hand here. Ooh. Oh, it's kind of like a cool, calming balm going into my heart. Now sit there and breathe. Now breathe love into your heart. Now keep doing that until you calm down and your mind calms down. And if you can't calm it down, you can use a little bit of tapping. You can basically, instead of putting your hand on your heart, you just start tapping. You go here and say, it is okay that my mind is racing and I'm trying to please. I accept this. Just do that. And then you can go here. And I choose to accept this. 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 You just keep going. You're tapping on your collarbone here now. You're tapping under your bottom lip and above under your nose, above your top lip. Right here was the other one. Tapping on your collarbone was the last one. And then finally, just tapping what we call the 9 gamut point. This is EFT, emotional freedom technique. But you basically just keep repeating that to yourself. I'm okay that I'm feeling this need to please. I'm okay that I'm overthinking. And then state in your mind, I don't need to overthink anymore. I don't need to please anyone, but just keep tapping, moving through these points. Do 5, 10, 15 points. We're basically sending a shockwave into our nervous system. And these shockwaves just go in and it breaks up in our DNA, in our program, in our software, the need to please and the need to overthink and the nervous system. So we're trying to calm the nervous system. We're trying to break it up, get that in that triggered state and say, I am overthinking. And when you are overthinking, do this and say, I am overthinking. It's okay, I'm overthinking, but I no longer need to overthink because it doesn't please anyone. It doesn't help anyone. It just destroys me. Run through these over and over and over again. You're trying to normalize your nervous system. You're trying to break up that trapped energy, that trauma. You're more than likely, you had a screaming match with your mother and she was crying and whatever, and it went into you and it's like, oh, I gotta be nice to my mom, and now it's created this conflict inside of yourself between you loving yourself and trying to please your mom. Well, it's not your responsibility to please your mom or anyone. I'm 54 years old. Why do I need to please my mom now? I'm an adult. I'm as old as she was, 20 years older than when she had me as a kid, almost 30. So why am I still pleasing my mother? Why am I still trapped in this tomfoolery? I don't know what else to call it. That's overthinking. And hopefully, now that you've done a few of these things, you're feeling a little calmer in your nervous system. And I want you to realize that overthinking is being stuck in the past, of preventing something that happened in the past, or planning for the future of something that hasn't even happened yet, but you're worried that it's going to happen and how scary that could be. So we're not in the present. Are you safe right here and right now? Put your hand on your heart. Maybe that person that causes that or whatever is not in the room. Hopefully do it in a quiet place where you're in your bedroom. Close the door where that's not going to happen. And get calm in your nervous system. Calm in your body. Start to feel it. Take some deep breaths. Right into your belly. Hold it for a second. Do that 4 or 5, up to 500 times. That's literally breath work. Letting that clean, fresh air, that clean, fresh water, call it, going in and mixing with the black stuff and all the fears and all the discomforts that are in your body, and letting some of it go. Small little bit of time. It's clear water coming in, gray water coming out. It's not black stuff. It's little bit at a time, little bit at a time. And then you're like peeling an onion. This you're going to have to do for weeks, months, maybe even a year. But each time you make a conscious choice for yourself of self-love and say, I'm not going to overthink because I'm not living in my presence. I'm not living in the present. I'm worried about a possibility in the future based on a possibility in the past, which isn't serving you. You're a different person. Every day we're a different person. Each time you peel the onion and go through all this kind of stuff, you're going to be a different person. It's important to love ourselves and to make self-loving choices. Is it a self-loving choice to be like, oh, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that. What about that? What about this tomorrow? And then the cortisol's in your system and you're just freaking out and you can't go to sleep and you're angry that you can't go to sleep and you're in a big twisted loop. Breathe. Put your hand on your heart again. Two simplest things you're ever going to do in your whole friggin' life is breathe, put your hand on the heart until you feel your heart rate come down, until you calm down, until you feel better. Use that tapping I talked about. Collarbone, 9 gamut point. Just say, I'm feeling this really intensely right now. It's okay. I choose to feel better. I choose to feel better. Just keep stating that over and over and over again as you're tapping each point. You're going to feel something start to shift in your body, in your nervous system. This is not your natural state. You are changing. You're transforming. You're becoming aware, and you're making choices that will change your life forever and give you your power back and allow you to get through anything. Once you can get through this with a simple one when you're in private by yourself, guess what? Next time that person's yelling at you or your mother's being emotional and narcissistic or whatever, you're going to be like, excuse me, Mom, what's going on here right now? And she'll be like, what's going on? My old way didn't work. They're not falling for it this time. They're not giving me energy. What's going on? And maybe it'll make them mad. It's like, fuck you, what's wrong with you, or whatever. That's their little child just trying to get you to give the energy when you're actually going to parent your parent. You're going to sit there right there and say, no. And this can work with your boss. This can work with your partner. This can work with any of those people that are trying to get you to overthink, to get you to give them your energy. That's all it is. It's an energy steal. I'm angry. You should be pissed off too. What the fuck's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. And they're little loops. That's what narcissism and gaslighting is. It's like they invert you and basically make it your fault. And then you're like lost and you're sad and you're scared and you can never figure this out. You're eventually going to just say, excuse me, I'm stepping away right now. Are you done your tantrum? And they'll be like, If you're in your self-worth and self-boundaries and self-love, you're not going to let them. You'll step away from them. If they're a person that gets angry and wants to be violent or whatever, you're going to walk out of the room and say, no, we're not doing this anymore. And maybe they'll get violent and whatever. Give them some time to cool off. Step out of the room. Step out of the place. And if they can't become in self-control themselves, maybe it's time to walk away. And I'm not advocating leaving relationships or whatever, but a lot of us are in codependent relationships that just beat us down and we do not know. And it's a reflection of our parents and our mothers and fathers. And ultimately, they were training us to basically take our power back. And if that person doesn't respond in a way that's safe to you or whatever, it might be safer to walk away or call the cops and say, hey, you don't get to hit me. You do not get to scream and yell and cause it. This is my home too. You have power. But to think that, oh, my love's going to be gone and my relationship's going to be gone. Well, what if your life's going to be gone? Because that person got so angry one day, they hit you so hard that they knocked you down the stairs and you got hurt. Not fair to you. You did nothing to deserve that. You may think you did. And that's maybe all you got from your mom and dad and all this kind of stuff. But you're the conscious creator in this moment. You're making a choice and you're doing different right then and there. And it doesn't have to be bad. If you fear the worst, guess what? You're going to get the worst. So believe that it will not happen if you believe in yourself and you stay in your heart and you love. And this is not saying stand there when they're being violent or trying to hurt you or whatever. This is saying walking away, stepping away and saying no. No more. because the only person who gets to choose is you, and they're a child at heart, and basically that child at heart that's not getting a dose of energy off of you is basically clearing up their inner demons, their inner traumas, their inner fear, their inner anger, etc. And sometimes it requires another person, and that's why we chose that partner to be in our life, to make a choice for themselves and then learn by that example. And then maybe they'll change, maybe they won't change. You don't really get a choice. But ultimately, we're moving through people pleasing, we're moving through codependence, we're moving into a new level of unconditional love. Love is not conditional on you pleasing another person. If it is, you're in the wrong kind of love. If you got to help them, fix them, pay, have a job for them, give them a safe house, protect the kids and all this kind of stuff, and they give nothing back, it's best to probably walk away. Sorry. That might hurt, but a part of you knows already. I'm just giving you an affirmation. I had to walk away from a marriage. I basically got to the point that I was giving so much, and all of a sudden my guide started talking to me, and all of a sudden I became this spiritually aware person, and they basically said, if you don't leave, you'll die of a heart attack in 5 months. In 5 months, I was going to kill myself to please this person that couldn't be pleased because she was very angry and still is to this day in a lot of ways. I love her. I love my kids. She's the mother to my kids, and she's doing those same things to my kids over and over and over again. But we're changing. We're shifting. We are learning through cooperation, relationships, etc. with others, and we're stepping out of codependence. We're stepping out of these loops of overthinking and pleasing people and other stuff. But ultimately, you have to make the choice. I can't make it for you. I can only reflect it for you, and you're going to say, I don't like that. And maybe you don't want to listen to me or fuck off. Where do you get off? Well, that's part of the process. Be it, feel it. But the seed is already percolating. It's like, what if that's true? What if I'm doing this to myself? What if this is happening? And you'll come back, you'll watch this video a few times, and you'll say, he's been through this. He knows what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, because I've been through it. It's hell. It's no fun. And I had to make choices, some of the hardest choices I've ever made in my life, walking away from a marriage, walking away from my house, walking away from half of everything I've earned and giving it to somebody that came in with nothing. I'm not angry. It's just, why did this have to be? Why are the rules so skewed to give everything? It's designed to destroy you. Because we are meant to be kept as people pleasers. It's meant to be making everybody happy, making the world safe, making all this kind of stuff, when it was never about that. It was about us learning our lessons and choosing us and self-loving us and finally coming back to presence. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you're overthinking, you're thinking about the future or the past, check it. You're going to find it. Put your hand on your heart. Breathe a few times. All of a sudden, it's like, am I safe right now? Is everything okay? Yes, that thing could happen tomorrow or whatever, but am I okay right now? And you're going to get so calm. It's not like the world's attacking you, and turn off the TV, turn off the news, turn off everything, turn off all the things that are making noise around you, get away from the traffic, go out in nature, put your hand on your heart. You're going to know there's a safe place within you. Your nervous system is going to start regulating. Go hug a tree. I hug a tree. There's 6 of them that I walk on my path every day, and I hug these trees. Some of them are so big I can't even put my arms around them. But those trees love you. Nature loves you. They all know what's going on. Ask them permission. Hey, I'm feeling pretty bad. Can you help me with this? And you'll get an answer. In your head, it'll just be like, yeah, sure. Because you're not harming them. They're conduits. They're grounding paths to let that stuff go into the center of the planet and then be transmuted and then maybe come back to you if you allow it. One tree's kind of the deposit and one tree's the receipt. And there's 6 of them. So I get 3 rounds of cleaning my nervous system. How does your nervous system feel when you do this? Give yourself a hug. How's your nervous system feel when this? You don't have to accept anybody into your life. You don't have to do anything. Go like this. Get under the covers. Cover your head with a sheet. Whatever you do is your safe place. Your nervous system's going to start to regulate. You're going to be like, oh, okay. If you're struggling at night trying to get to sleep and all this kind of stuff, you're safe in your safe place, but you're not accepting it. So curl up, get a weighted blanket, or put something heavy on top of yourself that's kind of soft and squishy or whatever. Your nervous system will regulate. That's why people love weighted blankets. Go find one. I wouldn't suggest getting a really heavy one. I got a 25-pounder, and holy cow, I can almost not breathe with it. But when I'm really fucked up, it helps a lot. That weighted blanket, your body is guaranteed to go into a parasympathetic release the minute that weighted blanket is on there. Calm yourself down, get yourself breathing, get back to a regulated state. Maybe you take the blanket off, and then you practice not having that tool to basically serve you. Once you get out of this state of non-regulation in your nervous system, you'll learn that nervous system regulation is a choice. I feel this. This feels good. I have a choice in this moment. Eventually, you're going to start to be able to go back to that choice without having to use any tools at all. Or maybe just as simple as putting your hand on your heart, or just taking a deep breath. Guess what? You're changing. You're awakening. You're clearing. You're solving everything. I love you all. I hope this has helped. If this helps you, send it to somebody else that's having trouble regulating their nervous system. Send it to anybody else. You'll be surprised how much change can happen by just this simple awareness. I love you all. I thank you for listening. And I thank you for what you're going through. You may have not been thanked, but this is hard. And it's a program that the human race has been under for a very long time. And we are consciously stepping out of the bullshit, the games, the programs that are stuck in our parents, stuck in our friends, stuck in our bosses, stuck in the system, stuck in government, stuck in blah, blah, blah. Shining light on it and being the change right here. We don't have to change anybody. All we got to do is lead by example. No, you're not going to talk to me like that. Quit yelling at me. Your nervous system is dysregulated. Why are you doing that? You're trying to make mine dysregulated so you feel that the validated in your dysregulation of your nervous system. What if you talk to me calmly for a minute? What if you went and took a breath and went for a quick 5-minute walk? Then we'll have this conversation. Because you know how to do it. Guess what? They're going to be like, what do they know I don't know? I want that. I need that. Now you're leading by example. Look at how my tone is calm right down. Leading by example, talking slowly, looking in their eyes, calmly having a discussion about something that once triggered you will give them that vibration in their nervous system, and they will want to be your best friend. Now you're going to have to be careful to make sure that they're not coming in with codependence and other things, but they're either going to be curious or they're going to be scared away. There's no in the middle. They'll be just like, I can't handle this. I got to go. Bye. And tell you to fuck off or whatever. But that's just their nervous system out of regulation. And then you can look at it and kind of smile afterwards and say, I found them. I found the truth of what's underneath. Time for better. Isn't it time for better for you? I love you. Once again, I'm Paul Hanrieder, HANRIEDER on Facebook. AwakeningYou.net is my website. I have groups, Awakening You, New Perspectives on Reality, Awakening Through Sexuality, all on Facebook. And I'm moving some of this stuff to YouTube in my New Perspectives on Reality YouTube page. Send this to people that you know. Get them to like and subscribe, and I'll give more and more free content. I love you. Thank you. I can also help people that want a direct experience or can't figure it out from the free content, and I can work with people directly as well. Thank you. Have a great day. You got this. You got this. You're changing. You're surrendering. It's beautiful. Thank you.